What if the dinosaurs never went extinct? Imagine that. 66 million years ago, the giant asteroid that slammed into Earth just missed. It sails harmlessly past our planet, and that single moment changes everything. There's no mass extinction, no fiery end to the age of reptiles, just dinosaurs continuing their reign over the Earth. If they had survived, what would our world look like today? Well, for starters, it would be a very different, probably much more dangerous place. Picture vast landscapes still roamed by creatures that seemed like they were straight out of a fantasy novel. A Tyrannosaurus rex, the undisputed apex predator, would still be hunting across North America. The skies wouldn't be filled with the birds we know today, but with pterosaurs of all shapes and sizes, soaring on leathery wings. The very geography of our planet would be shaped by these giants. The constant grazing of colossal herbivores, like long-necked sauropods, would dictate the structure of forests and grasslands. Think of them as giant, prehistoric landscape gardeners. They'd keep forests from becoming too dense, creating open plains and parklands. This, in turn, would affect every other plant and animal that lived there. The oceans would be just as alien. Forget sharks being the top predators. Marine reptiles like the Dinosaurs, a true sea monster, would still be ruling the depths. The entire global food chain would revolve around dinosaurs, leaving very little room for anyone else to get a foothold. So, where would that leave us? Or rather, where would that leave our ancestors? This is where the story takes a fascinating turn. The extinction of the dinosaurs was the single greatest opportunity for mammals. Before the asteroid hit, mammals were mostly small, shy, nocturnal creatures. They scurried in the shadows, hiding from the giant reptiles that dominated the day. They were like mice, living in a world of dragons. But once the dinosaurs were gone, a huge ecological vacuum opened up. This was the moment for mammals to shine. They began to diversify, to grow larger, and to explore new ways of life. Over millions of years, this evolutionary explosion led to primates, and eventually, to us, Homo sapiens. But if the dinosaurs had never disappeared, that door of opportunity would have remained firmly shut. Mammals would have likely stayed small, continuing their hidden, nocturna existence. The evolutionary path that led to intelligent, upright walking apes might never have begun. To put it bluntly, if the T-Rex and its kin were still around, there's a very good chance that humans would not exist at all. But let's play with another idea. What if some form of intelligence did evolve on this dinosaur-dominated Earth? Who would it be? Some scientists have pointed out that certain types of dinosaurs were already showing promising signs. Dinosaurs, the group that includes the famous velociraptor, had relatively large brains for their body size, complex social structures, and grasping hands. They were agile, intelligent hunters. Given another 66 million years of evolution, who's to say what they could have become? It is not entirely out of the realm of possibility to imagine a world where the dominant, intelligent species is not a primate, but a dinosauroid. A creature evolved from raptors, with upright posture, tool-using hands, and a complex language. This isn't just science fiction. It's a serious thought experiment based on evolutionary trends. So, instead of cities built by humans, we might see strange, alien-looking structures built by these highly evolved dinosaur descendants. Would they have discovered fire? Invented the wheel? Developed art and philosophy? We can only guess. But their civilization would be fundamentally different from our own, shaped by a completely different evolutionary history. Now, let's assume for a moment that somehow, against all odds, early human ancestors did manage to evolve in this world. What would their lives be like? It would be a constant struggle for survival. Building a civilization as we know it would be nearly impossible. How do you practice agriculture when a herd of 100-ton sauropods could trample your crops at any moment? How do you build a village when a pack of raptors, or a hungry tyrannosaur, could see it as a convenient snack bar? Human society is built on a foundation of safety and control over our environment. We cleared forests, domesticated animals, and built walls to protect ourselves. None of that would be feasible in a world where we were not at the top of the food chain. We would be a species living in constant fear, huddled in caves or high in the mountains, always looking over our shoulders. Progress, technology, and culture would be luxuries we could never afford. The constant, overwhelming pressure of survival would have kept us primitive. The climate and atmosphere of this dinosaur-filled Earth would also be different. The sheer biomass of dinosaurs, along with their metabolism and even their flatulence, believe it or not, had a significant impact on the planet's systems. Methane from giant herbivores would have influenced the greenhouse effect. Their feeding habits would have shaped plant life, which in turn affects oxygen levels and carbon cycles. Without their extinction, the world's climate might have followed a completely different trajectory, potentially preventing the ice ages that played a key role in our own evolution. So we arrive at a rather uncomfortable but profound conclusion. The extinction of the dinosaurs, a catastrophic event that wiped out 75% of life on Earth, was not just an ending. It was a beginning. That asteroid impact was the cosmic reset button that cleared the stage and allowed for a new story to unfold our story. And love may only be possible because of a cosmic catastrophe that happened long before we were ever here. It makes you look at the world in a new way. A world without the dinosaurs is fascinating to imagine. A world of perpetual giants and incredible biodiversity. But it's a world that almost certainly would not have us in it. So the next time you see a dinosaur skeleton in a museum, maybe don't just see it as a relic of a lost world. It forces us to ask a final, powerful question. Was the death of the dinosaurs one of the greatest tragedies in the history of life? Or was it the single most important event that made our human world possible? Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into an alternate timeline, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest what-ifs in science and history. See you next time.